All right. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Tanya here with Suzanna Mannion. And welcome. And if you are on this live, comment. And if you're watching the replay, let us know if you're watching the replay. So Suzanna is a yoga teacher, and she leads women's circles and retreats. She's from San Francisco Bay Area in California. And thank you for being here, Suzanna.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
And am I saying your name right? Is it Suzanna or Susanna?
Susanna, but
Suzanna.
either close enough.
Like, these subtleties actually matter.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, cool. So I'm curious to know, well, first of all, what's your background? You have a different background. You didn't start out with yoga in your life. So yeah, tell us a little bit about your journey into this work.
Yeah, you're right. I did not start off in the holistic wellness-oriented field. Dating back to my mid-20s, I'll just start there. I actually ended up working in sales, selling motorcycles. I was a sales and marketing manager for a motorcycle dealership and grew very tired of that, even though there were aspects of that job I really loved. I wanted to grow my marketing prowess, and living in Sonoma County, it's almost hard not to find a job in the wine industry. Ended up getting an entry-level marketing position for a Napa winery, and just grew my experience over the years in marketing. Fast forward to the pandemic, and like many people on this globe, I had lots of the environmental pressures of the world had me really thinking about what I was doing in my life, and if the kind of work that I sort of fell into for many years was serving me. Anxiety grew a bit during those pandemic years with all the uncertainties and, life being off balance, working from home all the time, and child running around while trying to work. And I found my way into a 200-hour yoga teacher training, which I did almost entirely online, and it was absolutely life-changing. Yeah, I mean, I can keep going if you want. There's a couple more parts of that story, or I could stop there.
No, give me a couple more parts of that story.
Okay. Yeah, so I enrolled in that program. I took it self-paced across about 6 months, and just moving my body in that way and learning about different yogic topics was incredibly enlightening. Yes, therapy is good. Yes, going for hikes here and there is good, but studying something, 10 hours a week and moving your body so many hours a week, and those body spirit opening ways, it was just, I'd never experienced anything like it. So I didn't even sign up for it to become a yoga teacher, but towards the end of that training, I found myself recognizing that I was afraid that I would lose what I learned if I didn't put it into practice. So I lit a fire under my butt, and I went out there and found a space and started leading a weekly yoga class, which I've been doing consistently for the last 2.5 years. And also at the end of that training, I didn't want to stop the learning and have that container of a program to be accountable for. So I enrolled into a 300-hour training, which I inched through across a 1.5 years. And also enrolled in a somatic and NLP coaching program. And so that's what spurred me to move in the direction of this other pathway.
Yeah. It's when you talk about how transformative it was for you to be moving your body every day,
right.
It brings me back to this comment I once heard from an herbalist, that really, our time, in this technological era has been quite short, and we have like eons of being more physical as human beings, right? Walking a ton, moving, and now we're so sedentary, and we're so we're all, we're hooked into our technology, the screen, and we're definitely not moving our bodies nearly as much as we're designed to, really. So yeah. To me, it makes so much sense that you were like, whoa, like, what is this, right? It felt like that, like, what is happening to me? Things are changing in my body and my mind and my spirit, my heart, like so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All those things.
All those things. Yeah. And it's really, I love hearing too that even though it was an online teacher training program, that you got so much out of it. Because I think some people, we're just so online now that a lot of people kind of think maybe, oh, I won't sign up for that because it's online. I'd rather have an in-person experience or whatever, which is, obviously very valuable, but it just goes to show that when you actually apply information that you're learning, that, yeah, transformation can happen. So you learned then, basically, you became very passionate about yoga, and then you started hosting women's circles. I want to really go into that topic, because I feel like there is an awakening happening amongst women, specifically like women coming together. And I'm wondering if you could talk about that and like what you're seeing and what you're witnessing. Like, why do you do these women's circles? What kind of topics do you see that are arising that women are wanting to talk about?
Yeah. I think, the why behind me hosting women's circles, just to start there, is that I believe having more women's circles in the world fosters collective healing and a deeper sense of connection and a deeper sense of belonging, and ultimately a better world to live in. Because participating in a circle, for me, from what I'm firsthand observing, is that it's not just the benefit of being there in the circle, but it's sort of like the energy exchange of this group that's saying yes to this experience coming together. And in my circle happens to be like the same circle for 6 months. And then it like reopens for people to re-up and rejoin again, or new people to come in, people to leave, that sort of thing. So it's really kind of like a 6-month container that we're in together, where we get to find authentic relationship with each other. So much of my life consists of my interpersonal communications, and a lot of my interpersonal communications in my day-to-day life are very superficial, like emails back and like not juicy emails, like just transactional emails, and even exchanges with like other parents at drop off or, at the grocery store. And so to have the opportunity to feel like you're really seeing other people and hearing them and understanding their challenges, and also in reverse, like being seen, being heard, being witnessed, is profound for me in my world. And I have a hunch that I think a lot of people might feel this way too. There's many reasons. It creates an opportunity for people to come together and share their hearts and share their lives and be more understood. And the way I structure my women's circle, it kind of has a little flow to it, but one of the core principles is that when we're sitting in circle sharing, we follow circle sharing principles, like one person talks at a time, don't interrupt, and don't give advice. And it just, give people the opportunity to say something and just say it. And that is also, I find, very profound. I've had people say, I've never been heard like that. Even if nobody's reflecting or answering right away, like I've never been heard that way. And it helps build community, having these circles. Where else do we go? I mean, people are, have different church groups or activity groups, that's for sure. I don't want to discount that, or sports they're involved in. There's many different ways that people can come together and share in their life. But I find that this is a very different experience than like, come over and have drinks,
Right. Well, it's an invitation to be vulnerable, right? And be held safely. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm not here for the chit chat and what did you make for dinner last night? It's like,
right.
It's okay, what's alive in you right now? And one thing I learned that I didn't know is we have this these neurons called mirror neurons in our brain. And so there's actually, like, we actually need other people to be able to process, like,
Mm.
our experiences in being human, like just being able to speak to someone, having somebody's eyes looking into your eyes, or just witnessing you, and maybe even just saying, oh, I heard you say this, or wow, I acknowledge that you feel this way. There's something that happens where, and that, I think that's my guess is why it's so powerful, because, we could sit by ourselves and speak into a little microphone if we needed to vent or share something that's on our heart, but it doesn't process in the same way as when we're actually sharing it with other people, and eye to eye, there's something that happens there. So yeah, it's such yeah, and the world has become more isolated, and certainly through the pandemic, oh my gosh, like that was a wild ride, right? Like,
Very wild, right?
and so and I think the gift in that was like, oh, wow, when you have something taken away,
Mm-hmm.
you get so hungry for it again. Like, oh yeah, like this is
Mm-hmm.
needed. Like that experience really revealed what happens when people end up in isolation. Yeah, we're not meant for that. We're not created for that. So yeah, and so going back to the second question, what are the kind of topics that you're finding that women are wanting to share? What are the most, yeah, what's on the forefront of their minds?
Well, in my circle, so I've had 2 rounds of it. I just started leading these women's circles this year, and I don't see stopping because it's just so precious. The ages of the participants range from 30s to 60s. So there's quite the gamut there. And I love that. I love that the women that were drawn to join this circle are in all different seasons of their life. So they're getting, the person that's, like, oh no, where do I find a preschool, is in the same circle with the person who has like a 30-year-old or 40-year-old child who's, in a completely different stage of life. So that helps bring in different perspectives. So really, like, generally I bring a loose topic, and it's usually tied into the, seasonality, or, I just, pick a topic like creativity, and then form some different discussion topics around it, open-ended, and we either discuss it as an open circle or do small breakout groups or dyads, like 2-person groupings. So I either bring a topic, but what I naturally just see coming up runs the complete gamut of, but I would say like family relations can be common, not just spouses, but parent-child, parent elders, and sometimes spouses, issues with siblings, so much. There's such a range, and parenting challenges. Several of the women in the circle are parents of school-age children, so of course there's those kinds of topics that come up.
Yeah, yeah. And how I'm curious to know too, like how these women that come, are they do you find it challenging to kind of build up the rapport and the connection, or do you find that women that are coming, they're ready, like they're ready to open up and really participate?
The latter. I think the women that get what it is, because I use language on that webpage where I outline my women's circle, and I try to transparently and clearly as possible say, like, this circle's for you if, dot, 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 dot.
Yeah.
And, we open up, we share vulnerably. We practice these circle sharing principles. It's a spirituality circle with elements of ritual, meaning like grounding, breath work. I maybe bring in a little gentle yoga. Also, some sound healing components, aromatherapy. So there's a ritualistic element that helps, like, kind of like bookend the experience. Like, okay, circle is starting. People check in, they light their candle, and then we have this ring of beautiful candles, and it's like, we're here, like we've landed, and now it's time to share. So I try to build that so it really does feel like, there's edges around it, like we're in circle. we're relating in this way. And
Yeah.
so maybe, I don't know, but people do seem like they're in it, they're open to it, and they want to connect in that way. They're using it as an opportunity to open their hearts and share. And I mean, some have openly expressed, like, I'm not used to this. It's been decades since I've been in a women's circle. I didn't really want to join because I don't really want to be vulnerable right now, but I also sense that it would help me. So there's, yeah. And then there's people that are like, I can't wait to talk.
Right. Yeah. Beautiful. And then you also host retreats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
That's also a newer endeavor that I started last year, leading up to my third retreat this late winter at the end of February. I, going on retreat myself and feeling like it was a completely life-changing experience is what planted the seed. I mean, one person will go on retreat, have a life-changing experience, and maybe be done with the thoughts around that. But for me, it really ignited something in me. Like, I want to learn this, and I want to create experiences like this for other people. So far, my first retreat was co-ed, then second one was women's only, and then this next one is also for folks that identify as female. But yeah, I mean, so from my own firsthand experience, going on my first retreat for my 40th birthday, 5 to 6 years ago, really just woke something inside of me, and I just felt this slow, like, simmering call to create something like this. So, and then through the yoga trainings and the coaching program and going on other retreats, amazing wilderness backpacking spirituality retreats, like, it's just continued to teach me different ways to engage a group. So that's what lights me up about hosting retreats. Again, bringing people together and being very specific, like, this is the theme, this is the intention. We're going on a journey together, and these are the different modalities that you can expect: yoga, meditation, dance, like just like somatic movement, dance, letting go ceremonies. What else? I'm told nature immersions. I'm not certified as a forest
bathing or whatever.
I'm not certified, but I've participated enough and I've read enough books where I do bring in a nature element, because I truly, and after looking at your website, I think you'll agree, nature is like one of our greatest teachers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So healing, and just helps us to ground and reconnect, remember where we're coming from. Where's your next retreat?
Next retreat is going to be just a tiny bit north of San Francisco at the Green Gulch Farm and Zen Center in Muir Beach, like really close to Sausalito, Stinson Beach area. So it's a 20-minute walk to Muir Beach, which I'm super excited about, hiking trails in every direction. And it's a Buddhist meditation practice center. It's
Beautiful.
a lovely venue. I'm very excited to host my next retreat there.
And so is that on your website? People can find it? Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, great. And what else? So I know you teach in-person classes. So online, what can people find there?
I don't have recordings yet online. So really just blog posts and my website content and information about the retreat. But I have been thinking I have many ideas of how I'd like to grow Hearts Alive, including publishing some books and, maybe producing some courses and a book club and different ways to engage people in different locations.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Well, your heart is definitely felt, and your I think people we want to feel alive in our heart, like, really, that's kind of that's what makes us human, right? When we're connected with our heart and we're serving from that place and connecting from that place. I mean, so much happens, right, when we're connected to our hearts. And so I love the name.
Thank you.
And I love that you're bringing women together, and your retreat sounds amazing. Is there anything else you would like to share with us before we sign off?
Let's see. This totally spaced on this, but I also offer somatic coaching, and that is something that people can do from any location, phone or video, like Zoom kind of coaching.
NLP too, yes, NLP. You mentioned that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, somatic and NLP
Together, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, this is fantastic. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
I'm grateful.
Yeah, thank you too. And so again, anybody, if you have a question for Suzanna, you can find her on Facebook. There's her website. And if you have questions, you can post in the comments and somebody will get back to you for sure. So thank you, Suzanna.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Take care.